Just use your brain. I mean, what else is it doing?
But speaking of, I'm gonna get off.
I think it's busy.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. However you pronounce it, and we're getting the music video in 30 minutes. Do you think I can record? Not in 30 minutes, like in 20 minutes. Do you think I can record this in 20 minutes so I can listen to? Oh, it was so good. I almost cried. We have to re-media train him because he's unmedia trained. Not in the like Hudson Williams unmedia trained. Even that man is media trained. In the like he was so shy when he did the interview. I watched the beginning of it because I saw it in the middle of the night and I was like, let me go back to sleep. God, it comes out 2 days after my birthday. That's a sign that this is gonna be a good year. Hopefully you guys aren't crazy because he's doing 30 shows in New York City. That's the closest place to me that he's going. Hopefully you guys aren't crazy and sell out all 30 shows. I know there's going to be a few of you that go to multiple shows in New York, but calm down. Save some for the rest of us, please. Hi, welcome back to today's video. It's today's video, as the title so says, we are doing a bookshelf tour. But before we get into the video, hi, I'm Kimora if you don't know me. And if you do know me, of course, I'm Kimora. These are my babies. These are my prized possessions. These are the love of my life other than that man, Arnold Styles. But, I'm going to do a bookshelf tour. There are books above, so I do need to grab my chair. So if you see me swiveling in the corner, it's because my chair is a swivel chair. And it doesn't stand still. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna grab the chair and we're gonna get started. I got rid of some books. The only books I'm keeping are books that hold sentimental value to me or books that I love, that I don't feel the need to get rid of. Maybe one day I'll get rid of some of these books, but there are some of these books that you will see and you're like, why keep them? They hold sentimental value and I spent money on them. And why get rid of books that you spent money on when you didn't have money to spend on them to begin with? Sorry. We gotta make this quick because I'm in the middle of reading Mile High. So come on, chop chop. Ugh. I gotta see it from a different angle. Did I just put my butt in your face? I am so sorry. Can you see that? No, you can't. I brought a tripod that's over 7 feet just for it to not be tall enough to see this. Up here is what I like to call my favorite book shrine / Sarah J. Maas. I want to consider this like fantasy, adult fantasy, but these aren't adult fantasy, and I haven't read most of the books on the shelf. But we've got the first 3 books in the Outlander series. I do not know how to pronounce the author's last name, but this is her name, if you can see it. But we've got Outlander, Dragonfly, and the Amber, and Voyager. But then we have the ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas. I have read these books. I have not read these, but I have read these. We have A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, A Court of Rings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, and A Court of Silver Flame. And then we have the whole TOG, aka the Throne of Glass series. I call it TOG. And the prequel, The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storm, Tower of Dawn, Kingdom of Ash. I have not read any of these. Hopefully I will read them soon. But we have this little tiny plant that I got from Amazon. It came in a 3-pack. The other 2 I use in my bathroom and on my TBR cart. But my CBR cart's put away because 1, we're moving and there was like no point. Are you guys crooked? Watch, you're crooked, aren't you? Yeah, I'm sorry if you are. I can't tell from this angle. You're not crooked. Maybe I'm crooked. And then this is what I like to call my favorite shelf. Not every single book on the shelf is one of my favorites. It's just that some of the books by the authors are, so I just put them all together. But one of my favorite authors of all time, Abby Jimenez. I think she might be my favorite author of all time. Yeah. But we've got her 2 series. I think this one is just called the Friend Zone series trilogy, and this is the Part of Your World trilogy. But we've got the Friend Zone, the Happy Ever After playlist, Life's Too Short, Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and Just for the Summer. I have read Say You'll Remember Me, but I don't have the physical copy because I read it on Kindle. I will be getting that soon because I did like that book. Then this stack is just like, these books are really big, so there's no point of putting them horizontal. This is vertical, this is I don't know. But there's no point of putting them horizontally because it'll take up too much room. And we're trying to condense the amount of space my books take up. So, if that makes any sense. But on top of this stack, we have all of my Ashley Poston books. We have The 7-Year Slip, The Dead Romantics, A Novel Love Story, and Sounds Like Love. We've got 2 different iterations of the special edition books for the first 4 books in the Boys of Tommen. And I'll show you what I mean because I wasn't ever going to read the Boys of Tommen because it's supposedly going to have 6 books in the series. And I don't think I want to make that commitment to a romance series. But then I saw, let me just show you the white sprayed edged version of Binding and Keeping 13 with Johnny and Shannon's name on the side at Walmart, and I was like, I have to buy this. And then I did a little bit of research because I was like, why do we only have these covers? Turns out the whole series came out in both these covers, the white covers and the regular covers, but these sprayed editions. And I don't have all 6 of them currently because the other 2 aren't out. I don't have them on pre-order. That seems like a lot. I was waiting for that one to fall. But we've got the regular covers of Redeeming and Saving 6 with these covers. There is a difference if you can't notice because these are just regular sprayed. It's just sprayed with a solid color in their name, and then these are like sprayed. They're so cute. I don't know which ones I want for Taming 7 and Redeeming and Releasing 10, but I do know that I want them. And I display them out like this because I spent a good hefty amount of money, so I might as well get my money's worth. Excuse me. Binding. These Boys of Tommen books are really big for no reason. But next we have one of our newer additions to the bookshelf, Hidden Rivalries. Yes, I will be getting the long haul. I keep calling it the long haul from Diary of the Wimpy Kid. I'll be getting the long game as soon as I can afford it. And then Rebecca Yarros is like, I would consider her one of my favorite authors, but she just broke my heart with The Last Letter. I read that recently. Don't ever in your life do that to me again. But we've got Great and Precious Things, The Things We Leave Unfinished, and The Last Letter. The only reason why these books are up here is because this is my favorite book of all time. Say what you will, I love this book. But then we have the start of my cowboy romances. We have the Rubber Blue Ranch series by Lila Sage. We've got Done and Dusted, Swift and Saddled, Lost and Lassoed, and Wild and Wrangled. And then we have the start of the Elsie Silver books. I have all of her books. We've got Flawless, Heartless, Powerless, Reckless, and Hopeless. This is the Chestnut Spring series. I was trying to figure out what the series is called. But, I kind of did it so it kind of like flowed, like it went from like this end here and then it flowed down so it made sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like instead of putting the rest of the cowboy romances right here, I put them right here because it made sense. But speaking of, I'm gonna get off. I'm fine. I don't even know where I was because my brother called me to do something for him that I couldn't in fact do. So I tried and then I realized it was 12 o'clock. It's so him. It's every time he puts out a new album, he does something unique and it's him every single time. Now that I've done that and now that I've grieved a little bit, I cried just a little. We're gonna do this shelf. This shelf is basically like just sort of a continuation of the top shelf. We've got mostly contemporary romances and most of all of authors. I've got a lot of books by a lot of the same author. So, this is the leftover of the cowboy romances that I have. I've got what is it called? The Gold Rush Ranch series by Elsie Silver and the Rose Hill series by her. So we have Off to the Races, A Photo Finish, The Frontrunner, and A False Start. And then we've got Wild Love, Wild Eyes, Wild Side, and Wild Card. I'm 80% sure for Wild Side I've got like an exclusive. Is this my favorite couple? No. But is this pretty? Yes. Any man named Sebastian. No, excuse me. This one's Reese. Any man named Sebastian or Reese is a win in my book. Literally. Because they're in my books. And then we've got the mirror cover of Heartless that I found. It wasn't expensive, but I want Reckless, but that's a lot of money. But we've got Heartless. Heartless is my second favorite book in the whole series. Of course, Reckless is my first. I gave that a 5-star for me personally. Say what you will about accidental pregnancies, they're usually done really good in my book. But then we have all of my Ali Hazelwood books. We've got them in going this way, like this way. We have them in reading order. We have Love Hypothesis, Love Theoretically, Love on the Brain, Checkmate, Not in Love, and Problematic Summer. And then we have got all of my Lauren Asher books. Is she my favorite author? No. But is she like a really easy author to read? Most definitely. But we've got it in like series order, not in read order, because I read this before this and then this, if that makes any sense. But we've got her Dirty Air series. We've got Throttled, Collided, Wrecked, and Redeemed. I've only read Redeemed. Don't ask questions you don't need answers to. And then we have the Fine Print, Terms and Conditions, and Final Offer, which are part of the Dreamland Billionaire trilogy. And then we have Love Redesigned, Love Unwritten, and Love Arranged, which is her most recent book. And this is the Lakefront Billionaire trilogy. Didn't really like that one, but it's okay. If we move you down, we've kind of got like sort of just a little bit the remainder of my contemporary romances. I think these are all contemporary, but these should be in author order, like author's last name. But we've got Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. It happened one summer by Tessa Bailey, and Hook, Line, and Sinker by her. This is a duology. We've got First Time Caller by B.K. Borson, the first book in the DC Stars series Face Off by Chelsea Kuto? That sounds wrong. Don't take how I say her name into account. I'm slow. And then we've got the first 2 books in the, I don't know what series this is, but I don't want to read the third one, so I don't really care. But we've got Icebreaker and Wildfire by Hannah Grace. And then we've got all of my Emily Henry books that I've read, People Watching, Beach Read, Book Lovers, Happy Place, Funny Story. This is in reading order, the order that I read it in. And then we've got all of my Anna Huang books I've read. We've got Twisted Love, Twisted Game, Twisted Lies, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies. And then we've got the first 3 books in the Kings of Sin duology series. Jesus Christ. We've got King of Wrath, King of Pride, and King of Greed. And then we've got the first 4 books in the Jacksonville Ray series, because there is a 5th book coming out, and I don't have either of the novellas. So we've got Pucking Around, Pucking Wild, Pucking Sweet, and Pucking Strong. And then we have 3 books by Hannah Boehm Young. We've got Next of Kin, Out on a Limb, and Out of the Woods. I don't know if I'll read People Watching or the second book in this duology, but who knows? And then if we go down, this is kind of the remainder of my contemporary romances in author order. So we have, I think in author order, yeah, we've got Christina Higgins' Pack Up the Moon, my 2 Christina Lauren books, Love in Other Words, and my favorite Half Night Stand. Then we've got all of my 3 Rebecca Searle books in 5 years, One Italian Summer, and Expiration Dates in reading order that I read them in. Then we have Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, Business or Pleasure by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This is not all of my romance books. If you're like, where are I know there's some missing. I did not get rid of all of them. Some are gone, but I did not get rid of all of them. It's just that they're on the last shelf because I didn't want to see them, so I put them down below. But this is the start of like my YA books because there's more on this shelf. But we've got them in author order. So we've got Holly Black's The Cruel Prince trilogy. We have The Cruel Prince, The Wicked Kingdom, and The Queen of Nothing. Then we have Stephanie Garber's Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballad of Never After, and A Curse for True Love. And then one of my newest addition to the bookshelf, the Powerless trilogy. No, I have not read Powerful or Fearful, but I have read these 3. So Powerless, Reckless, and Fearless by Lauren Roberts. And then we've got my Harry Potter series, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Deadly Hallows. I like to see if I can say all of them without needing to look at books. I can. And if we move down for you guys. For the poll. We have not the remainder of my YA books, because once again, there's more down here along with more romance. But we've got most of the rest of my YA. We have dystopia and then kind of like mystery books on one shelf, because it didn't make sense to put them all different. It just made sense to put them together. But we've got the Hunger Games trilogy, and then the 2 prequels. We've got Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Sunrise on the Reaping, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. Then we have the special editions, I guess you can consider them, of the first 3 books in this series, because I didn't like Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so I didn't want to waste the money and get that one. But we've got The Hunger Games, which looks like this, and then on the back it says winning means fame and fortune, losing means certain death. Then we have Catching Fire, looks like this. It says Katniss Everdeen survived the Hunger Games. Now the Capitol wants revenge. And then we've got Mockingjay, which I don't know if I like very much. But we've got, not the book. I like the book, but I'm talking about the sprayed edge. But we have If We Burn, You Burn With Us. Iconic. I wish we had like the hanging tree on one of them. Anyways, I faced them out because there's no point of facing them the other direction because it's right there. And then we've got the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. Shatter Me, Unravel Me, Ignite Me, Restore Me, Define Me, and Imagine Me. I read this series like 2 years ago, so if you're asking me if I'm not reading the novellas, okay? I never wanted to, I never will. And then we've got the Divergent trilogy with the 4 novella. We've got Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant by Veronica Roth. Am I right? Yes, I am. That's her name. And then we've got the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, The Naturals, Killer Instinct, All In, and Bad Blood. And then we have The Good Girls Guide to Murder series by Holly Jackson, Good Girls Guide to Murder, Good Girl, Bad Blood, Good is Dead, and her other book, 5 Survive. I do not have her other one. I don't have The Reappearance of Rachel Price. I'm still debating on whether or not want to read that. And then, go down. And then we've got kind of like the remainder of the romance, the leftover romance. It's a mixture of sentimental romances that I don't ever think I'll get rid of, YA, and LGBTQ, because I don't necessarily like any of these books, but, you know, we gotta have an LGBTQ section on our bookshelf. So we have the 3 books in this is all by Ashley Heron Blake. It's The Light Green Doesn't Care, Ashley Parker Doesn't Fall, and Iris Kelly Does Not Date. This is a interconnected standalone trilogy. I really absolutely love these ones, and I'm very glad that they were my first introduction to kind of romance in general. But then we have Red, White, and Royal Blue, and One Last Stop by Casey McQueenston. I think I'm gonna get rid of this one, but I don't know yet. And then we have Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner. If I don't read this book by the end of this year, because I DNF'd it. I like read half of it and was really bored, so I DNF'd it. And it's just been on the bookshelf ever since. These 2 books don't remember a lick that happens in them. So if I don't read these 2 by the end of the year, I'm unhauling. And then these are books. This is the leftover kind of contemporary romance that I don't think I'll ever get rid of. I did unhaul a lot of my Colleen Hoover books, so I don't want to hear anybody say anything. These 4, I don't think I'll ever get rid of. If I had to get rid of one of them, I'd get rid of Regretting You, but I will never get rid of Reminders of Him. Thank you very much. But we've got E.L. James's 50 Shades of Grey trilogy. 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, 50 Shades Freed. My first ever trilogy I read, so she will never leave me. And then we have my Colleen Hoover books, It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us, Reminders of Him, Regretting You. And then we have my YA romances. We've got the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy by Jenny Han. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You and Always and Forever, Lauren Jean. I think they're in order, I'm not quite sure. Then we have my 2 Lynn Painter books, Better Than the Movies and The Do-Over. I didn't really like either one of those books, so out of sight, out of mind. Then we have The Summer of Broken Rules, but it has the sprayed edge on it. I didn't know if I'd like this book, so I just got the collector's edition because it wasn't really expensive. But for those people who like this book, look. We've got, what was her name? Meredith? Yeah. And his name is what, Wynn? I don't know. But it also has this, The Vineyard. that they spent the summer at, and then it says it's one of the special places where you feel like time doesn't exist, where it will always be summer, where I'll always wake up with you. And I think this quote is for like your sister or something. I'm not quite sure. I did genuinely like that book, but ask me anything that happens in it, cannot remember. And then we have the Love and Gelato trilogy by Jenna Evans Welch. We've got Love and Gelato, Love and Luck, and Love and Olives. I have not read this one yet. I don't think I will, but at this point, I don't think anybody cares. And then we have Everything by Nicola Yoon. And I want to say that no, these are not all my books that I have. Excuse me, let me scoot into the frame. Give you some crotch action. Hold on. Let me do something nice for you. Let me bring you up. I want to say that these are not all of my books. These are not every single book that I have read. I promise you that. Some of the books I have unhauled, and I will do an unhaul video for you guys. And some of them are put away because I'm packing, and the more I read, the more books I add to the shelf. So if there's not any shelf space, I don't feel like putting the books down here, I just put them away. It makes the packing easier. So there are some books that were on this shelf that I needed to make room for Fearless because I just got it last night. And so I just put them in a bin. And so maybe I should tell you that, but no, I'm not. I don't feel like it. But these are my ladies. These are my girls, excluding some. That's really it for you guys today. It's a little quick video. Hopefully it's quick. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if when I redo the bookshelves it'll be the same, but I do know that it'll have like a few changes, but it might all stay the same, like where everything is except for like the favorite shelf. I don't think I'll put it up at the top. I think I'll put it like maybe a shelf down. And I'm now realizing like the books that are behind me that you're gonna see in like videos are gonna be like just, these are boring books that nobody wants to see like all the time. Like my more interesting books are up there. So I don't know if I'm gonna move them further down. If you have any suggestions, please tell me. If not, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you whenever I see you, because I don't know what I'm gonna see you next.